Okay, for this next video, I believe it's video 9, not sure. I just got done doing the readings and material pages. I won't show that week, but we did week 3 and we know what that kind of looks like. And so those were all done. It took quite a while and there were some questions that I had creating them, especially towards the end. If you look here, it says homework and module assignments due, and then it shows you these chapter assignments. And there's this one local government meeting assignment and a final paper and video assignment listed in this part of the course. But when I actually, and then there's this section up here that says module assignments 20%. And so when I got into Blackboard and I clicked on some of these weeks to get the readings and material pages, there were these kind of assignments that popped up and they weren't reflected in the syllabus. They're marginally reflected in that one piece. That kind of gave a clue that there was something going on there. So I ended up calling the instructor. So this would be, if you're working on something and you're not sure what to do, this is where you contact me and I would make this contact. But it turns out that throughout the course in these modules, there are, besides the chapter outline, there's these assignments. This is local government meeting reflection. There's, see if there's any, mostly not up here because it seems like these quizzes are the things that are kind of taking up the space up in the earlier courses. But as you get down here, there's a discussion board on healthcare reform. Then there's a discussion, there's an assignment on local, there's a local government meeting reflection. Then there's this one, like your policy and SDOH, that's an assignment. Then this advocacy was one that goes throughout the entire course. Notice it ends on April 17th. But there's these various things that kind of pop up. And so after talking to the instructor, I found that that's what she meant by, in this syllabus, by these module assignments. So I had to go out and create these. Now this can be tricky if it's not clearly spelled out in the syllabus and it's not clearly spelled out in the course, what you do with this stuff. I did have to go back to the instructor. And so I added these assignments. There was like 2 in this one. There is none in week 15, but there was 2 in week 14, 1, 2, 3 in week 13, along with the outline, along with this other discussion board. And so I had to create those. Well, if you go over to the assignments page, which is where everything has to be completely spelled out, I went ahead and added, there's a chapter outlines assignment group, that's worth 15%. That aligns with the syllabus. Then there's a module assignments, which is worth 20%, which also aligns with the syllabus. So these are all those kind of extra assignments that showed up. And I had to contact the instructor and we talked about it, and that's all kind of worth 20 points or 20% if you're doing a 100-point course. And so I gave each of these 1.5 points, and then this one that's this meeting reflection where you actually had to go to a local government meeting, take a picture of it, do an agenda and a reflection. That one I told her I would probably weight a little heavier. So all of these are 1.5 except for this one, which is 3.5. But then I did end up attaching a percentage to each grading group. If everything adds up to 100, you don't have to do this percentage for each grading group. But if it doesn't, sometimes you have to. Like in this case, this is 15% of the total, but these are 50-point quizzes. And I don't know if she's going to change the point values on these or not, or just have them do these and have it be only worth 15% of the total. And then there's a midterm exam and then a cumulative paper. So I ran into that while I was doing the readings and material pages, and I had to work that out. So now the next step in the process is to create the checklist for each module. And you kind of get into a groove doing that. And so I'm going to remove this, and I'm actually going to remove that. And I end up usually having a couple windows open so I can look and see what's in the module as I create the checklist. So, and then the other thing I do is, there's the course modules. I'm going to close all these other windows because I don't really need them open right now. So, because I want to open each of those checklists in a new window. And so this is kind of your last step in your course before you QC it and make sure you kind of accounted for everything. So I'm going to open up the weekly checklist. There are no outcomes, and I'm going to look at this and see what's in here and then reflect it and create the checklist. So where this says quiz 1 by assigned due date of week 1, I'm going to delete that, and that will turn out to be bold if I don't remove the bolding right where I've clicked. So I'm going to go down here and find quizzes and find week 1 introduction quiz and click on that right there, and that inserts that in there. So there's always a course syllabus, a self-introduction, and then the readings and material page. And then in this week, oh, and we also want to add this discussion, and this is going to be something we add to every week. So I'm going to hit enter here, and I'm going to say post to, and then I'm going to bring that discussion up. It's called Discussion Board US Healthcare. And it's different than the reform one. Post to, oh, sorry. I'm gonna undo that. Control Z is the undo function in Canvas. You don't have an undo button up here, but you can do Control Z. So let me go back down here and find this policy and advocacy. And I'm going to say post to blah, blah, blah each week. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to say by 11:59 p.m. by assigned due. No, it's not by assigned due date in this particular case because it's not due to the end of the semester. So I actually, in this course for this discussion, post one initial post, and one reply post to discussion board by 11:59 p.m. Saturday, 11:59 p.m. each week until the end of the course. Okay, so that I can actually kind of copy that and paste that in every time into the checklist, because that's going to be the same every week. So this now reflects what is in here: self-introduction, readings of material, the discussion board, and the quiz. So, and it does need weekly outcomes, which I don't think are available, but I should look real quick on here. No, there are no weekly outcomes in this course. So I'm going to leave that up there for now, and we can delete that later when we have the meeting about the course. So post the self-introduction only. There is no extra credit points. So post, and I'm going to delete all of that by assigned due date at the end of week 1. And that will have an assigned due date on it. Then read and study the required materials. Post 1 initial post and one reply post to discussion board, blah, 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 by Saturday, 11:59 p.m. each week until the end of the course, and then complete the week 1 quiz by the assigned due date. So that page is done. I can kind of copy this, because next I'm going to go close this window out and open up the checklist for week 2. Sometimes we'll open up a bunch of checklists, but we'll do this. Okay, so this is the template. So we don't want to keep this. We're gonna delete this, and we're gonna replace that discussion line with this, and then delete, and then it will be submit week 2 quiz by the end, by assigned due date at the end of week 2. So the only place where we're going to literally say by Saturday 11:59 is on this one post, because the due date's the end of the course, not the assigned due date. So here we go. Week 2, readings and materials. Oops. Readings and materials, week 2. Readings and materials, chapter 1. Okay, so now we have to start adding the outline. So actually, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it here. And I'm going to say complete or submit. This one is submit. This was correct. I'm going to delete this. And this is just me setting up kind of like the weekly checklist. I'm going to kind of find ways to use some of this verbiage here, because it's going to repeat from week to week. So chapter 1 outline by assigned due date by the end of week 2. Okay, so the discussion board, and this is complete, not submit. I have them complete the quiz and submit the outlines. So I'm going to remove the bolding on that. I don't bold the link, but I do bold the submit and the assigned due date. And if putting a space in creates a little tiny link there in the space, I usually remove the link for that space. So this is pretty much what every week's going to look like. So I'm going to copy this, copy and save. And now I'm going to open up, go back, close this one, and go back to week 3 checklist. I'm going to open that one up in a new tab, open that. I'm going to do a few of these at a time. Okay, so now I'm going to do, because I'm going to actually go in here like this, and I'm going to paste this in. Paste that in. Now I'm going to have to change this to chapter 2. And this stays the same, and this will change to chapter 2 in week 3. These both change to 3 and 3. And then I have to actually go down and link the chapter 2 outline assignment. Notice it says chapter 1, so I need to go to assignments and chapter 2 outline. And this is week 3 quiz. So this, it still says week 2 quiz, notice, but I'm going to come down to quizzes and link week 3 quiz. So, and I want to make sure I remove that extra number there. So now I've got week 3 readings and material, chapter 2 outline, the same discussion board post, and then a new direction for chapter 3. So I'm going to save that. Go to week 4. And I'm going to come here and I'm actually going to paste again. I still have it in there. And I'm actually going to delete that one, leave the space there, and unlink this. Then I'm going to do this, delete the 2, delete, and unlink this. Actually, I'm going to just leave a space there. I think I'll do the same thing here. Space there. And then I'll remove the letter. This is week 4, but I'm going to just remove it for now and remove that for now. And now I'm going to delete this and I'm going to copy this because this kind of gives me my blank checklist for the upcoming weeks. So I'm going to copy that. Now I can go ahead and submit chapter, what is it? This is week 4. That would be chapter 3. Yeah, chapter 3. And I see an extra space there, so I'm going to kill that. Chapter 3 outline. And then week, oh, and that got bolded, so I'm going to remove the bolding. You have to really watch that. And right here, I'm going to put in week 4 quiz. I don't think week 4, yeah, week 4 quiz is already in assignments. Same thing here, it's bolded, I don't want it bolded. And then I'm going to put, that's week 4, that's week 4. Okay, so that one's done. Week 4 readings, chapter 3 outline. This thing stays the same, and this is week 4 quiz. I'm going to save that. Oh, let's look in week 4. Is there anything besides those things? No. Wait, yes, there is. So there's an assignment. Okay, so let's go back and let me go to week 5 real quick because I'm going to paste in that information. I want to save that for when I start week 5, but I have to fix something in week 4. That's why I keep this thing over here open. That's why I keep the other thing open so that I can come back to week 4 now. Week 5, there it is. Week 4. I need to submit assignment local government meeting reflection. Oh no, this one right here is doing week 8, but in week 4 I'm going to say review local government meeting reflection. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it at the end and I'm going to say review and then delete this. And notice if I put a space there, it's bold again. Due at the end of week 8. I want them to look ahead to week 8 where they have to do this, go to, schedule a meeting and all of that kind of stuff. So I am going to now put that assignment, local government, go down here to assignments, it's called assignment, local government meeting reflection. Now, you might not know to do this, and if you don't know to do that, if there's a big assignment coming up, sometimes I refer to it. And then I make sure I put week 8 on it, not week 4. And then I'll save that. And that now reflects, and it's the same assignment as in week 8. So I'm not making a new assignment. I'm just letting people know. In fact, I'm going to add and you can do this. I'm going to add a text header that says upcoming assignment. And then I'll add this down there. And I might actually, since I'm in here, go ahead and hit enter twice. Add upcoming assignment length. And then I'm going to make that a header 3 because I always use headers. And this is a header 2, so this would be a header 3. And there is that. Except for I probably won't make that a 1. I'll just make it no numbering. That way they sort of like review it. Okay. So that's week 4. Now there's week 5. So there's nothing out of the ordinary here. So I'm going to have them submit chapter 4 outline. And this is by the end of week 5. And then I don't like this boldness, so I'm getting rid of it. I want everything to kind of match. So there's that. And then this one is complete the week 5 quiz, which is at the bottom of this thing right there by the end of week 5. Save. And that's all that's in week 5. Now, I'm going to go through and I notice in week 6, there'll be a couple of additional discussion boards. In week 7, there's going to be 1 additional discussion board. In week 8, there's going to be 2 different assignments, additional assignments. This is the one that we had them reflect on. I mean, this is one we told them was upcoming, you know, so these will be in the checklist. In this one, there's at least 1 additional discussion board. And in this one, there's an assignment and a discussion board. These are part of those module assignments reflected in the syllabus. Then there's the midterm in week 11. And then in week 12, there's 1, 2, 3 additional assignments. So I'm going to have those all reflected in my checklist. And so I'm going to go ahead and start building those checklists. And basically when I'm all done with that, then we'll start talking about QCing everything, you know, taking another look. Like, see this bolding here? I don't want that. So I'm going to hopefully spot anything like that when I actually get done with this. And I'll fix all that on the QC. And so for now, I'm going to go ahead and keep building, and then that's pretty much the end of the course, aside from going out and QCing everything. So we'll talk about what happens when you're all done building the checklist in the next video.